Hi, everyone. My name is Diane Willock. I'm the customer success coach for Supermoms US. And I'm joined here with Maria Stanford, who is also a customer success coach here at Supermoms. And we wanted to talk to you today about a typical question that we get from individuals regarding Salesforce job roles, and specifically, if you're trained in Salesforce, do you need to go into a Salesforce administrator role automatically? So the question to that, or the answer to that, can be a little bit more complicated. There's a lot of different answers to that question, but just simply put, you do not need to go into a Salesforce administrator role if you've been trained in Salesforce. I want you to think of the training as your foundation and kind of your really good general understanding of what Salesforce is and what it can do and how to work the platform and manage that platform. But if the Salesforce administrator role is not for you, there are a number of different options that you can go into. So for instance, we have to look at and take a deeper dive into what is your background, what are your particular skills that you have, maybe what you've done in past roles or in past experiences. And then you can transfer those skills into a Salesforce role that might be a better fit for you. So some examples might be, if you've come from a background in sales or customer service, or you've built relationships, maybe in account management, you might want to go into a Salesforce consultancy role. If you have a good technical background, maybe have taken some coding and you like to build applications, you might be going into a Salesforce, be an app builder, or go into a developer route. So there's also Salesforce business analyst, customer success. There's a lot of different roles that you can go into. So it takes looking at what your background has been and what your skills are and how to transfer those into a new Salesforce role. So I don't know, Maria, if you want something to say about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's certainly something that we do get asked very often. And it is about those really kind of tapping into those transferable skills, isn't it, Diane, to kind of work out where you actually sit. So you may well want to go and do that entry level admin role to get that experience, but also you might have a whole wealth of experience behind you that you're then looking to utilize perhaps in that next career step. So certainly we speak to many parents and professionals over the course of the week, and certainly when perhaps people might be on a career break, they do kind of say to me, but I don't have a real job right now. But I kind of think what we have to do is we're still using our soft skills that we've had from our past job roles. When we're parents, it's the most difficult job that we have, isn't it? I'm a parent of a teen. I know, Diane, you are as well. So, it is a hard job. So we're automatically using our soft skills. So, we are problem solvers, we are influencers, we are effective communicators. So all of those things can be utilized. But also, just because we're perhaps on a career break, or also if you're employed in a role and you've been in that role for a number of years, we kind of tend to do things subconsciously. So we actually lose touch with what our transferable skills are because we're just doing these things automatically. It is about kind of uncovering those again and working out how you can then apply them in this next new chapter, which is what we can help you as customer success coaches do.
Right.
And it is about building that confidence and just making sure that, you've got a good handle on what those transferable skills might look like for that career path.
Right. And it's just looking at, exactly, uncovering those skills, uncovering what you've done before and in the past and what experience that you do have. So there's a lot of different roles. I think one thing to keep in mind too is even within a Salesforce administrator role, there's a lot of different responsibilities that you can have depending on the organization. So for instance, if an organization is hiring a Salesforce admin to be a part of a team, you might be responsible responsible for just a certain part of Salesforce platform. If they're hiring you to be the solo admin and the only one that's going to be working on that system, you might wear a bunch of different hats anyway. So it can kind of look more like a project management role. So that's why it's important to really not just look at sales administrator, the job title, but to also look at what is the description of that job and what do they need. So, think in that mindset too, because it may very well be a role that you would enjoy if you're, looking to do something other than just being a particular part of that administrator role. So it's important to think about that too. And again, training in Salesforce is really meant to be that foundation, that stepping stone, and the backbone to the other Salesforce careers.
Yeah,
And we
absolutely
have a
agree.
question on imposter syndrome as a newbie in Salesforce. That's a tough one too. I think building up your confidence, again, starts to look, you need to look at, okay, well, what specific skill sets do I have? What's my superpower, we like to say. And that can help build up your confidence. And it's important to know that everybody kind of starts somewhere, and you build on your skills, you build on your experience. So it really is, again, uncovering, what's unique to you and what do you have that you feel confident in and that you can showcase, and what is your superpower. So it takes a little bit of self-analysis and discovery and just looking through that, and what are your transferable skills.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with Diane. Confidence is a skill. When we're not born with it, we have to work on it at every level and every new level that we go into. So certainly be kind to yourself and tap into those superpowers that Diane just mentioned, and put those at the forefront of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so true. It's hard. I think everybody at some point has a feeling of imposter syndrome. And sometimes it's just that you don't know what you don't know yet. So you have to give yourself some time and realize that there's a learning curve. And once you start learning what you need to know and you're building your confidence, you'll feel a lot better. So I think at some point, everybody is going through that imposter syndrome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you'll agree, Diane, when we see our supermoms first start, they're kind of, they're a bit nervous and perhaps a bit overwhelmed. And then that confidence is built, and then they're kind of ready to go. And then they have to find a new level of confidence then to go and find that next role. So it's definitely something that's worked on continuously throughout our whole life, really, isn't it? Our confidence. So
right. And surround yourself with some people that are going to build you up too, as well. That's really important, to surround yourself with those individuals that might be a good mentor to you, or someone that can offer advice and listen to you. And then you start to feel, a little bit more confident in yourself, because you're around people that are uplifting and can build up your confidence. So that's important as well. That will help too.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't see any more questions in the chat here.
I can't either.
So we've probably answered that as best as we can in a short time, because as Diane said, it is quite complicated. So this is why we enjoy chatting to all of our super mums just about what that career path might look like. And generally that's built over the first 2 years to be able to plan that out. So, it's far more complicated. So we do spend time in our 30-minute session working through that with you to get clarity on that.
We have a couple of different people. I guess, what is your advice in showcasing your Salesforce skills? I'm trying to find where, in what context you mean by that. If you mean showcasing your Salesforce skills on your resume or just in a interview. I don't know if I almost need a little bit more context on how you're meaning to showcase your Salesforce skills. But you should definitely be highlighting, the experience that you've had on your show, and showcasing your skills up front on your resume, what particular areas in Salesforce you have specialized in or worked on, as well as your LinkedIn profile. So if I'm not understanding that question, I don't know if you have something to say about that as well, Maria.
I think we actually spoke about this the other day, Diane, didn't we? And it's almost like when you're trying to showcase your skills, you really have to have that Salesforce speak
Right,
and that
right,
terminology and language,
right,
and that has to really be evident within your CV, but also perhaps in your LinkedIn profile or wherever
right,
you're kind of showcasing yourself.
right.
So tapping into kind of what role you want to really be looking at and
Yep.
using that same terminology and language throughout, really, to match and mirror.
Right, right, right. Yeah, make sure you're utilizing the keywords that are
Yeah.
responsible for that particular Salesforce role. And that can come through on your skill set. You know, if you're bullet pointing your particular skills, make sure you have those keywords in there. You have them in your profile, you have them in your personal summary. If you have that at the top of your resume, you want to make sure that that's front and center and you're recognized right away for that. Any type of certificates or badges that you have earned in Salesforce in particular, especially if it's, a niche area, something that you have really gotten some experience in and you know a lot about, you can be considered an expert in that area. You definitely want to highlight that. And especially if it relates to the role that you're looking for. It looks like we have a couple other ones now, which are great. Healthcare background, what would blend in with Salesforce skills? So it really depends on where what you did in your healthcare. But again, I think if you're in a healthcare background, naturally you're someone who is has a good relationship building skills. And you've probably, or if you've been on the technology side, so it really would depend on like where you are in healthcare. But I do feel like if you have a healthcare background, you do have those natural ability to build rapport with individuals, and you've been forward facing with people probably most of your career. You might blend in really well with either customer success or possibly into consultancy. I don't know what you think about that, Maria, and what would be a suggestion for you for them.
Yeah, I think definitely both. I think also sometimes when you've got a healthcare background or a particular background, it's kind of thinking about, okay, do you actually want to stay in that healthcare sector? Because obviously the
Right.
healthcare sector with Salesforce is huge. So they
Huge.
actually have
Right.
the health cloud, don't they?
Right.
So,
Right.
if you want to stay in that, you've actually got transferable skills that will put you in. But if you don't want to, and you want to go into a completely new sector, exactly what Diane said, you can then start to explore those other roles like consultancy, depending on whether you've been front facing or in a sales role or project management or anything like that. So, but I think if you wanted to stay in that particular sector, then that would be that
Ideal,
would be
right? And
very
you can
good.
go into consultancy and you can
Yeah.
consult with individuals, with organizations that are using Health Cloud. So you can stay within that industry. Organizations really like that you have those skills that you can talk the industry talk. So moving into a consultancy role and specifically working with Health Cloud would be a good ideal situation for you. And let's see, what advice would you recommend in order to get some industry standard experience? Do you have an answer for that, Maria?
Well, again, I think it's kind of what context. So,
Right,
what I would be saying here is, are you already certified? If you're not certified and you're looking to break into that Salesforce ecosystem, obviously for us, we have designed our course so that we do actually provide you with real life work experience. So that's certainly something that our trainees, love that they get that and be able to put that on their CV and get a reference. So I guess it kind of depends where you are in your journey,
right.
because also if you are already certified, there are sometimes opportunities to go and volunteer for charities,
Mm-hmm.
on project work. So I guess that it depends where you're at.
Right, right. So there's a couple of different factors to take into
Yeah.
consideration there. Anything else? So I'm loving that we've gotten some of these questions. They're great questions. And again, I think our roles here, Maria and I, are to kind of uncover some of these questions and talk about them as customer success coaches. Really look at your background, look at your skills, look at what would be transferable and help you understand that and what type of roles that you could get into. And again, keep in mind that when you're trained in Salesforce, and if you take a Salesforce admin training course, that can just be your backbone, your starting place. That is your understanding of what Salesforce is. It gives you that great, that great understanding of that platform. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go into a Salesforce admin role. Anything else that anybody else has, I would be happy to answer.
I can't see anything coming through there. But what I will, can I just put something else in, Diane? Obviously, you can probably tell that Diane and I do like to talk. So we would love to be able to chat to anybody who wants to come and find out a little bit more, or if we can help in any way or answer any questions. You will be able to book a one-to-one 30-minute call with myself or with Diane, and we can actually pop the link into the chat after this, actually on the discovery call. Can we put it actually into the comments here? I'm not too.
I think we can, but let's see if we can try to do that.
Let's leave that to Diane and see if she can whiz that into the chat.
Now only. Oh wait, let me see if I can keep both of ours. And just a reminder that I am based here in the U.S. And then Maria is in the UK. So if it makes it easier timing wise, let's see if we can. Is that going to work, Maria? Oh, I can't post comments to some destination, so we can't do that.
Okay, we can certainly pop in our calendar links into the original.
Oh, maybe it worked. It looks like it worked. I don't know if anybody can see that, but it looks like it worked.
I can see it here, I think. So, so hopefully, but if not, you can always go to the website. So you can go to supermoms.org, and you can actually book a call with us via that option as well. So, but we would love to chat through any questions that you have, and
make sure you're
popped up.
Right. And you can go to our Facebook group as well and post a comment there. Yeah, we love to talk.
We do.
And we love to work with individuals. Being a coach, that's the way it is. We do like to talk to individuals one-on-one. Everybody has a unique situation. So it's really about addressing that unique situation. And it's it can't be just a broad approach. It has to be an individualized approach to what your career might look like in Salesforce. So we'd love to help you out with that. Perfect.
Brilliant.
All
right.
Thank
you so much.
Yes, thank you all for joining us today, and look forward to the rest of the day.
Speak soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.